The first thing that you should do when designing a resume is develop a source resume. This source resume has things that you need to include on your resume and should be maintained separate to your resume. What this is a storage or a repository of all the information that you knew. So whenever you learn something new or do something new or develop a new skill or reach a goal or get an achievement, you should put that into your source file. This creates a storage for everything that you've done. Once you've got that source file, you use that source file as your first reference point when designing a resume. All right, we move on to some basic rules of resume design. The first thing is about a question of length. There is no absolute rule on how short or how long a resume should be. However, it must be concise and very relevant. Each page should make the reader want to turn over to the next page. The resume should be specific to an advertised position, mentioning keywords and phrases relevant to the employer or to the industry in general. It also must be interesting in content and design. Try using some colour, try different formats, try using a different font, hopefully a common font, but one that looks a bit different than the standard Times New Roman. What you want to do by experimenting with colour and design and layout is make sure that your resume stands out from the pack. It's very important also that the resume is written from a third-person sense or a historical perspective. Remember to avoid using terms like I, we, me, they. This is a document that talks about skills, abilities and experience from a third-person perspective. Now we'll move on to, I suppose, the structure of a resume. A resume in Australia is structured in the following way. It starts with personal details, then a profile or career summary, then professional memberships or affiliations, then a skills summary, then employment history, education, professional development, and lastly, but not least, referees. The profile should give a brief summary on you in regards to your position, your skills, experience, and industry or sector. The skills summary should summarise specific skills that are necessary to perform functions of your job. The skills could be both strengths or intangible skills, but they can also be very specific softwares and methodologies that you use in work. Experience is probably the most valued commodity in Australia, therefore it's the most important section of your resume. The last 10 to 15 years of your employment history should be listed on your resume in reverse chronological order. That is, your most recent position first. If you include achievements, make sure they are tangible and they can be tested, either by yourself through a letter or through your references as well. You should also list your education in a very similar way to the employment history. That is, put your qualifications first, in most recent first, and include professional development. Those are those short courses, those one-day seminars that you did that are relevant to your industry. Finally, please include 3 references that should be ideally work-based, with full contact details, including time zone from here to your native country, or the email address, and also all the dialing codes that are necessary. Another strategy you could choose is references available upon request.